Let's look at question 3 of the 2022 Leaving Cert Higher Level Deferred paper. So first of all, in part A, we're asked for -5 and 3/2. We're told that they are solutions to this following equation, and we're asked to find the value of B and C. So obviously they're missing. The fact that they're telling us that they are roots or solutions is significant. So x is equal to -5 and x is equal to 3/2. I am going to sub those in separately into that equation. Because they are roots, they fit in perfectly. So you can see I do the first one and I end up with -5b plus c equals -25. And then I do the second one and I end up with 12b plus 8c equals -18. Now the reason I have so many b's and c's is because there's a lot of unknowns going on here, but we're trying to solve them. So we are going to use simultaneous equations here in order for us to solve these two. So again, this is a bread and butter skill for a higher level student. If this is something you need a bit of revision of, I have other videos that I will link below that you can check out and practice a few of these. So we are going to multiply the top line by -8 here, and we are going to work down through it to solve for b equals 7/2. Now, if you don't know what 7/2 is off the top of your head, you can always just find the decimal version of it and it'll give you a better view of what you're working with. We now move over and we're going to use that b equals 7/2 and we're going to sub it into one of the original equations and we are going to find our c value, which will end up being -15/2. This is a nice question, a very common question as well in Leaving Cert Higher Level Algebra, because we're dealing with roots and solutions and factor style questions. Moving on to part B then, we are asked to simply divide a cubic by a linear equation. DMCA stands for divide, multiply, change the signs and add, and that's the way I go about it. Again, if you need some extra advice on long division, I do have a lovely printable that I will link below to help you through every single step of this. So I take one step at a time. I divide my 2x into -6x cubed. I get -3x squared. I multiply by the number I've just written down and I end up getting -6x cubed again. And then I multiply it by the +4 and I get -12x squared. And I do that step 3 separate times. Because I have 2 terms dividing in, I use 2 terms of the cubic as I go. So step by step there, you'll find I've no remainder, and that will always be the case. If you are getting a remainder, something may be wrong. So let's move on to part C then, and we are asked to solve the following inequality. The biggest thing you should spot here is that the denominator of that fraction is 2x minus 3. The biggest rule of inequalities is that if you multiply or divide across by a negative number, your inequality sign will change to the opposite direction. Because we have no idea the true value of 2x minus 3, I actually cannot guarantee that I'm multiplying or dividing across by a negative or a positive. So I eliminate the risk altogether by multiplying across by the denominator squared. Why? Because every number in the whole wide world squared will be positive. So I multiply across by 2x minus 3 all to be squared. As you can see here, there's plenty of multiplying out to be done. You need to hold your nerve and do it step by step. I am obviously showing you absolutely every working here, so you have a really thorough example, but you don't have to do every single step. If you're a little bit of a multiplying out whiz, you can skip a few bits here. So I'm multiplying across by that. I now am very happy and secure to know that when I simplify this down to -22x squared plus 47x minus 21 is less than or equal to 0, I know my inequality sign is absolutely on point. I need to solve this because at the end of the day we're asked to solve for x, so I'm taking my minus b formula and I'm popping in my a, b and c. When I pop that into my minus b formula, I get an answer of x is equal to 7/11 and x is equal to 3/2. But I have 2 values for x. It's an inequality. So what I need to do next is I can't just throw out those 2x values. I need to give the correct solution set. So I'm going to sketch. So this starts with a -22. So this is going to be a frowning U-shaped graph. It's going to be upside down, and I just quickly sketch what it looks like, and I understand that my inequality says it's going to be less than or equal to 0. So I look for those positions on my graph, and you can see there's my solution.